of more dividends of democracy. Bumi Adigun, who was at Afon, the first port of call, captured the campaign in this report.
The beginning of another political journey for Prince Dapo Abiodun. Beginning from here, he is billed to visit 236 wards of the 20 local governments in Ogun State. The first port of call was Afon, an agrarian community under the Abeokuta local government. And immediately the people of this area cited the governor. It was joy that knew no bound. From road infrastructure, yellow roof in schools, distribution of benches and chairs, employment of teachers, renovation of primary healthcare centers, empowerment of market men and women, and many numerous things.
These are my people who are still coming. We are still in phase one. You know, we are going to Lara. People are there. So we are ready and we are here to support the government for a second term bid.
We are solidly behind him. By the grace of God, Governor Abiodun will be elected to office.
The people here said, for so much that has been given by the current administration, what is expected is a vote for all APC candidates.
All APC candidates here will be victorious in the election.
And he has demonstrated capacity, to be able to do more for the state and for us. And for these reasons, I think he deserves our vote for the second round.
Vote APC all the way. By the grace of God, Ogun West, Ogun State, and my federal constituency in particular, will deliver APC. All those things come together is a variable that will work for the governor in his own election. So APC is a part of it. In Ogun West, I can assure you that we will surely be victorious in the coming election.
For the first time, Yewa has not been counted as an opposition local government. This time around, we are in the mainstream, and we are going to deliver in Nepal from back into the mainstream.
Governor Dapo Abiodun appreciated the people of Afon for their love and support so far, as he asked them to repeat same come 2023, as he had bigger plans for the development of the area.
I assure you that work will commence on the Afon road before the elections.
As an assembly candidate that would represent this axis is Honorable Jemili Akinbade. House of Representative for the federal constituency is Prince Boyega Nasir Isiaka, while Senator Solomon Adiola Olamilekon is a candidate for the Ogun West Senatorial District. Bumi Adigun, OGTV News.
Still talking politics, the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has promised to wage war against poverty, turn the entire nation into economic nerve center, establish an economic hub across the country, ensure skills acquisition for Nigerian youth, as well as commence credit lending for micro, small and medium-scale enterprises if elected into office. Tinubu, who made this promise at the APC presidential campaign in Benin, Edo State, promised to eradicate estimated billing system in Nigeria.
No because smuggling. You understand that one? Do you understand that one? Tell her. That's disqualification. Enough it be president. You are confronted with the security now in the country. One of the earliest and the greatest problem, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, brought Aero project to this country to help the over-centralization and the diversion of our money. What do they do to it? They punish me as Lagos State governor. Not personal punish, but the entire Lagos State was punished. That time, they take our money. And create additional job to create opportunity for those who have been in one position for years.
Called on Nigerians to troop out Ummahs with their permanent voter cards and vote for the All Progressives Congress come February this year. The coalition of All Progressives Congress support groups organized a prayer session for APC presidential candidate Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his vice Kashim Shettima, and all APC candidates in Ogun State. The national chairman of the group, Honorable Adewale Adeogun, implored members to get their PVCs so as not to be disenfranchised in the forthcoming 2023 general elections. Ayodeji Olumumi completes the report.
Coalition of All Progressive Congress support groups organized prayer sessions for all candidates of the party for the forthcoming 2023 general elections. The prayer session, which kick-started at Olumorok in the traditional way, also witnessed the group members' solidarity walk from Pansheke to Oriomi Oke-Shokori in Abeokuta, where prayers were performed in both Christian and Islamic religions.
We pray for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Senator Kashim Shettima that by the power in the name of God, they will be president of Nigeria and vice president respectively.
And then we pray that Almighty Allah, the one that gives power and takes away power, to please to give him the power. By February 25 this year, we pray to Almighty Allah that he should be declared the president-elect.
Dignitaries present at the event lauded the initiative of the coalition of APC support groups as they reiterated their trust in the APC candidates.
The prayer session has shown the unity of purpose.
We all know the antecedent of the former governor of Lagos State in person of Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu, the Jagaban himself.
Is the man that has a vision, is one that can lead well and will deliver this country for its success.
And a believer that Nigeria can be better than what it is at the moment, and we have the people that will take it there. Prayer is the key to the answer. So when you pray to Almighty Allah, He will definitely answer you.
The national chairman of Coalition of All Progressive Congress support groups, Honorable Adewale Adeogun, said the efficacy of prayers could not be cut short in achieving the vision of the groups.
No, prayer is not PVC. Prayer is not ballot paper. There will be anything that is good needs prayer. Anything that is bad needs prayer. That is why we call it attack your enemies with prayer. Those who for now still don't love Asiwaju, we want to pray for them, to see the reason why Asiwaju is the best person for this presidency.
The event was a double celebration for the national chairman of the group as he celebrated his birthday with the cutting of a commemorative cake with the members and the presentation of certificates to support groups, as well as presentation of a campaign vehicle. Ayodeji Olumumi, OGTV News.
Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, said it has set aside additional 8,809 bimodal voters accreditation system machines as backup that will be deployed across all the polling units nationwide for the 2023 elections. The National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, disclosed this in Abuja. According to Okoye, the Commission would deploy over 194,464 BVOS machines in 176,846 polling units across the country. The Commission, which took delivery of the last batch of the machines at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, said this was in line with its contingency provisions for all critical election materials. The Independent National Electoral Commission has commenced online accreditation for journalists and media organizations wishing to cover the 2023 general elections. According to the flyer issued by INEC on Thursday in Abuja, interested media organizations wishing to deploy journalists to cover the elections are to apply via https://inap.inecnigeria.org. It stated that the portal will be accessible from Thursday, January 5 to Sunday, February 5. Late submission shall not be entertained as the portal will automatically shut down on Sunday, February 5. Still to come in the news, NDLEA arrest 4 with 298 bags of there. The news continues. The newly elected president of Ogun State All-Nigerian Confederation of Principals of Secondary Schools, ANCOPS, Mr. Edward Adekoya, has acknowledged and appreciated various benefits being enjoyed by the association under the administration of Prince Abeokuta in the state. Mr. Adekoya noted this in Abeokuta during the familiarization visit of the new executive of ANCOPS to the Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology. Professor Abayomi Arigbabu revealed that yearnings, demands and expectations of the association for over 30 years, such as vehicle and landed properties, were met within the 3 years of Prince Abeokuta's administration. The ANCOPS president said various distinguished awards won by the governor were as a result of his massive investment in the education sector in the state, promising to do everything within their ability in supporting the government to realize its goals and policies for the greatness of the sector. He appreciated the commissioner for the cooperation that led to the success of the past executive of the association, adding that the generosity received from him had taken the group to higher level. In his address, Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Arigbabu, said ANCOPS in Ogun State have proven to be consistent, forward-looking, progressive, supportive, and full of initiatives in promoting the actions of government for better education standards. Professor Arigbabu enjoined members of the association to remain progressive and objective in their approach to issues in their schools, adding that religious tolerance should be allowed for peaceful and conducive academic atmosphere.
That has proven itself to be a very consistent, forward-looking, progressive. ANCOPS is more of a professional body that is trying to ensure better performance of its members, trying to ensure that capacities are developed, cooperating with government in that direction, and then acting as a voice for its members. As long as ANCOPS continue to pursue this agenda, we continue to hand this support, cooperation, and the respect of all stakeholders, particularly in the education, science, and technology.
Earlier in her remarks, the permanent secretary in the ministry, Mrs. Abosede Ogunleye, said ANCOPS remains a critical stakeholder to education ministry and still need to work together in harmony for improvement of the sector. With a view to advancing science and English in public high schools in the 6 local government areas of the Egba division of Ogun State, Nigeria, Egba Science Education Foundation, in collaboration with Dr. J.A. Akintobi Science Education Foundation, Femi and Mokbe Koka Foundation, and Sumano Foundation, held its closing ceremony of the expanded remedial program at Abeokuta Grammar School, Idiaba, Abeokuta, Ogun State. Bolaji Sampson reports that the just concluded 3-week remedial program was aimed at shaping the future of education. A report.
Egba Science Education Foundation organized an annual full scholarship remedial program to 50 competitively identified a public high school senior student. The students were provided supplementary teaching classes in English, mathematics, physics, chemistry, and biology, with practical science laboratory work in the preparation for the West African Examination Council, WAEC, and the Joint Admissions Matriculation Board, JAMB, examinations.
The remedial program is expanded to accommodate pupils from the 6 local government areas of the land, namely Abeokuta North, Abeokuta South, Ifo, Odeda, Owodiega, and Ewekoro.
The chairman of the occasion, Oba Michael Adedotun Aremugbadebo, emphasized on the need for the participants to pay attention in class and participate actively in the academic activities.
It's a great opportunity they should never lose. Any of them pursuing any science course, that they will get to the very top by the grace of God. Their destinies are in their hands. They should work extra hard. Whatever they do, they should work hard.
Also in attendance was the Olowo of Owu Kingdom, Oba Saka Matemilola, congratulated participants at the remedial program and encouraged parental support on education.
They must justify all the efforts, all the resources, and all the time that people have invested in this program for them. They're coming out very good grades. That's the only way they can show appreciation.
The collaborating foundations, Dr. Adebayo Akintobi, Chairman, Dr. J.A. Akintobi Science Education Foundation, Honorable Commissioner for Health, Dr. Tomi Koka, for the Femi and Mokwe Koka Foundation, and Mr. Sumonu. The Sumonu Foundation equally encouraged academic achievement as an importance for the successful development of young people in the society.
I would do my very best in order to pass on the knowledge I have learned to my mates, and then when I eventually make it in life, I'm going to give back to society.
Really appreciate them. I just pray they just continue, God continue to give them the strength and grace to continue continue the good work they have started.
The foundation was established to honor Dr. J.A. Akintobi for his lifelong passion for science education in Nigeria, with many of the students graduate of the remedial program progressing to institutions of higher learning and universities on merit across Nigeria. Bolaji Samson, OGTV News.
Ogun State Television, OGTV, has received the award in recognition of its consistent, unbiased, and social analysis reportage on security issues. The award was presented to the management team of the People's Tele by representatives of IJS and Partners International Security Organization, led by the Southwest Commander Oluwatosin Babatunde. Commander Oluwatosin Babatunde lauded the media outfit for its practice of outstanding journalism, despite checks and balances from regulatory bodies.
We are giving this award to motivate them to do more on what we have been doing. Based on their past record, we are keen on looking at them several times, especially their reports, the social awareness for people on security matters.
And Babatunde said, while awakening security consciousness in the public, the media outlet remained formidable as it looked forward to partnering with the Ogun State Television.
OGTV is doing excellently, and there is room for them to still do more. That is why what has been by award, just to make them to know that somebody is seeing them doing something so that they can do more.
The Assistant General Manager, Administration and Supplies, Planning, Research and Statistics, Dupo Ogunfowora, who received the award on behalf of the Acting General Manager of the station, Mr. Tunde Kasim, appreciated the security outfit for its gesture and also used the opportunity to reassure the populace of accurate and improved content delivery. Ogunfowora also charged the general public to be at alert, as security is the responsibility of all. Timber Contractors, Stakeholders in Timber Business and Plank Sellers Association of Ijebu North have appealed to the Ogun State government to help in the eradication of Fleetch's operation, popularly known as Alamole, in the forest reserves and other areas of timber business. This was top on the list of requests and Save Our Soul message when they led a peaceful protest to Ijebu North Local Government Secretariat, Palace of Urimolusi of Ijebu Igbo, and major areas in Ijebu Igbo against the activities of Fleetches, which they said contributes danger not only to their business but also to the economy of the state. Matthew Shomi has the details.
As the host of major forest reserves in the state, Ijebu-Igbo over the years was famous for timber and plank business, but the activities of Fleetches, popularly known as Alamole, has now endangered the business as the state continues to lose hundreds of millions to the illegal activities monthly. The timber contractors, stakeholders in timber business, and plank sellers could no longer watch as their means of livelihood were being threatened and one of the state treasures being eroded. Hence, the protest with Ijebu North Local Government Secretariat, Ijebu-Igbo, the first point of call.
And we all know that this Alamole Act is an illegal act. There's no way the government can take IGR from such act. We as a government, we are not in support of any illegal act, and we've appealed to the protester that they should not take law into their hand.
The people then proceeded to the palace of Urimolusi of Ijebu-Igbo, Oba Jayi Oba Adebayo, who thanked them for taking up the initiative in putting an end to the destructive activities. The State Commissioner for Forestry, Engineer Taiwo Oludotun, was also at the palace to receive the protesters and assured that the government applauded their cause.
We've come together to protest against illegal felling of trees in the forest and Fleetches, and basically that is what the government has been canvassing for, that we are against all form of illegalities in the forest, and good enough we'll be having the support of the Timbers Association.
The protest continued through major areas in Ijebu-Igbo and key places, after which the leaders of different associations speak on their demands.
Today we are thanking our Honorable Commissioner that is helping us and is with us. We thank him, and even I thank our people because I didn't expect that people will come out like this.
Our demand is about to secure the timber business in Ijebu-Igbo.
Prince Abeokuta, I pray that the Almighty God will lead them in their next tenure. They should help us to look for someone like this Honorable Commissioner that can act, that will not let his people down.
He appreciated the State Commissioner for his efforts in eradicating the activities of the Fleetch operators as they displayed some of the planks seized from such operations. Matthew Shomi, OGTV News.
More from the Abeokuta campaign. Governor Dapo Abiodun has approved 2 community schools in Ilara, Abeokuta local government in Ogun State. The governor gave approval to Ajoda Grammar School in Idishin, Ilara, Yewa, and the United Community Christian College, Ilara, while flagging off his campaign for a second term in office at Abeokuta local government area of the state. Elizabeth Eson was at Ilara Motor Park, the governor's second port of call in the local government area for the APC campaign in Ogun State. A report.
Amidst jubilation, singing and dancing, the people of Ilara in Abeokuta local government received the Ogun State Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, and his campaign team to their midst to show their support for his second term bid. To the people of Ilara and its environs, the scorecard of Prince Dapo Abiodun during his 4 years in office won him their support for his second term as the governor of Ogun State.
Because he's doing every good thing for us in Ogun State. That's why I want to support him for second time.
He has been supporting the marketmen and women in Ilara.
Ìdí tí mo fẹ́ pàdé ẹni pé ó lóun fẹ́ lọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí tó sì fẹ́ lọ yẹn.
To provide our market to the amenities.
He is sọ ní ọjà wa ní Ìlara tí nǹkan bá ti wọlé ní Ìlara kò sí ó wọlé adẹ́ńtẹ̀wọ̀ àárín ọ̀wọ̀ lágbára náà wọ́n á tún débẹ̀ sí lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ sí.
àfọwọ́sí ló ń support the second term bid.
ọgbọ́n ìwúrí kan ti ṣe fún wa bá a ṣe ń gbàdúrà pé kí wọ́n lọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ni pé wọ́n àwọn ni wọ́n fi wọn.
Thanking for the homegrown school feeding program.
torí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ náà wa ni kò sí ọ̀nà kankan tá à ń tọ̀ ọ̀tìgbà tó ń gbéṣẹ́ yìí jáde náà ló dìbò pé àwa náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí bùgá ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìwọ̀n àárọ̀mọ sí skul nú ẹ̀ àṣìṣe ilé ẹ̀ tó ti kọ́lé pọ̀ nù wa yanturu.
Some of the elders present also pledged their support to Abiodun's second term ambition.
Every corner of Ogun State, everywhere you see, level of people, that's the work of Dago. Go to city roads, and many things they have done for other people. It's just, if it is possible to do totally bad,
I'm going to talk of roads, I'm going to talk about schools, I'm going to talk about other things. Even though it's not universally done, but then what he has done, we know that probably well, when he comes back again, he's going to complete the...
That Mr. Governor, just having 2.5 years out of his 4 years to perform, had done wonderfully well for us in Ogun West. We'll continue to ask for more, but comparing him with past administrations, he has done so well for us in Ogun West, and we are certain that come both 25th and 11th of March, we shall not disappoint the APC.
While appreciating the people of Ilara for supporting his administration, Prince Dapo Abiodun pledged to fulfill more of his electioneering campaign promises if voted for his second term.
Right now.
Your schools are approved immediately.
Prince Dapo Abiodun presented to the people their representatives at the Senate, Honorable Adeola Olamilekan, House of Representatives, Prince Gboyega Nasri Isiaka, and State House of Assembly, Honorable Jemili Akingbade, who, among other candidates, were on the governor's campaign trail. Elizabeth Esson, OGTV News.
And away from that, the Nigeria Customs Service Board has approved the appointment of 3 Assistant Controller General. The new ACGs are Greg Itoto, Festus Okun, and Shuaibu Ibrahim. The approval is contained in a statement by Superintendent of Customs Abdullahi Maiwada. Maiwada said 1,490 senior officers of general duty and support staff were promoted to the next ranks. The National Public Relations Officer, Deputy Controller, Timi Bomodi, has been elevated to Controller. A total of 64 Deputy Controllers were promoted to Controllers of Customs. 128 Assistant Controllers are now Deputy Controllers. Mayweather said 89 Chief Superintendents of Customs were elevated to Assistant Controllers. 220 Superintendents of Customs are now Chief Superintendents of Customs. All government transactions will be carried out on the basis of electronic transfer if the amount exceeds the approved daily withdrawals by the Central Bank of Nigeria under the new monetary policy. The Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Financial and Intelligence Unit, NFIU, Modibo Tuko, announced this in Abuja on Thursday. Modibo said that under the guidelines, only the President can give a waiver for any cash above the approved daily threshold to be withdrawn for any urgent or emergency reasons. NFIU therefore directed federal, state, and local governments in the country to put necessary measures in place to ensure the smooth operationalization of the new policy. In particular, the different tiers of government are to deploy technology and train the staff to be able to apply the new policy from the stipulated date. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Kaduna State Command, says its operatives have arrested 4 suspects with 298 bags of heroin. The NDLEA State Commander, Ibrahim Braji, made this known at a news conference in Kaduna. Braji said that the suspects were arrested on the evening of January 3 and at Taso Mahuta community on Refinery Road, Chikum local government area of the state. He said that the 4 suspects were 2 females and 2 males. According to him, the bags of heroin are weighing 3,576 kg. He, however, said the operatives were still investigating the matter to unravel other suspects for arrest and prosecution. He further said the command had expanded its operational structure in the state to curtail the influx and outflow of drugs. The Military Pensions Board said it has commenced the payment of the old security debarment allowance to eligible military retirees or next of kin of deceased military personnel. A security debarment allowance is the money paid to retired military personnel to discourage them from using the skills they acquired while in service against the government. Over 90,000 military retirees who retired before 2017 were originally not among those to benefit from the allowance. The reason for the exclusion, according to the Minister of Defense, retired Major General Bashir Madashi, was that personnel who retired before the law was signed were not entitled to the allowance. The affected retired military personnel have embarked on a series of protests in the last 2 years to demand the payment of the allowance. However, President Muhammadu Buhari last year, during the inauguration of the 2023 Armed Forces Remembrance Day emblem and Appeal Fund, said he had approved 134.7 billion naira for the payment of the allowance to all military veterans. Business
segment of the news. The Nigeria Financial Intelligence Unit, INFIL, has banned cash withdrawals from accounts belonging to the federal government, all its agencies, and also state and local government, with effect from 1st March 2023. Addressing the press in Abuja, the Chief Executive of INFIL, Bodo Tuko, said that any government official that withdraws cash from public accounts risk investigation from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission, and the Nigeria Police Force in collaboration with the INFIL, depending on the gravity of the situation. Tuko said the ban was necessary to curb the rate at which monies are withdrawn from public accounts in flagrant disregard to the money laundering laws and sometimes for corruption purposes. In the first quarter of 2022, the 11 electricity distribution companies discos failed to remit 69.9 billion naira to the Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading Company and the market operator. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission disclosed this in its first quarter 2022 report released in Abuja. The report recalled that due to the absence of cost-reflective tariffs across all discos, the government was saddled with a subsidy obligation of 38.27 billion naira over the 3 months of the period, which translates to 12.76 billion naira per month. The federal government has released 13.89 billion naira for the payment of pensioners who retired in 2022. The Director General National Pension Commission, Aishada Umar, had earlier disclosed this in a report on the pension industry for 2021, that the federal government paid a total of 980.18 billion naira to retirees of Treasury-funded ministries, departments, and agencies from the inception in 2004 to December 2021. Premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, is still scarce, and this is why it is sold above 250 naira per litre in various locations outside major cities of Abuja and Lagos.
It was gathered that independent marketers who operate over 85% of filling stations nationwide were still finding it tough to access PMS, as many of them had decided to stop purchasing the commodity from private depot owners. Many private depots get the product at the regulated price of 148 naira per litre, but sell to filling stations at over 200 naira per litre, making it tough for retailers to dispense at the approved pump price of between 179 naira and 180 naira per litre. However, the federal government, through its Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, is striving to stop the high PMS cost by depots, as it sealed 7 of them recently for dispensing at outrageous rates. And lastly, on the business segment of the news, the Central Bank of Nigeria has said it would bring up a regulatory policy framework for the implementation of cryptocurrencies in the country. It disclosed this in a report on Nigeria Payment System Vision 2025. The banking regulator had earlier banned crypto-related transactions in the banking system. The Apex Bank added that it would also continue its brief on initial coin offerings as well as work with Security Exchange Commission to jointly